Hi and welcome to the 30 days relaxed stretching challenge. In this challenge, I'm challenging you to do my 15 or 25-minute version of the daily stretch every single day for 30 days in a row. If you're quite experienced with stretching, you can also join this experiment with your own routine that is suited to your personal needs. A week ago or so, I mentioned on Instagram that in the last 2 to 3 years, I have really decreased the amount of relaxed stretching I do, and I have increased the amount of dynamic active and static active flexibility I train a lot. What I've observed after this time of doing a lot less relaxed stretching and a lot more strength-based flexibility is that I feel like I generally have more tension in my body, even though I've become more flexible in some poses. But usually I have to warm up a lot to get that flexibility. I've mostly built a lot of tension in my lower back and hip area, a little bit in my hamstrings, and quite a lot in my neck and shoulders, I'd say. So I figured it's time to reintroduce more static passive stretching and relaxed stretching overall. Because one thing static passive stretching does is it reduces your muscles' passive resistance to stretch. In really simple terms, this just means that when your body is pulled into position, the muscles that have to lengthen to get there, they do that more easily and they resist it less. So that also means on the opposite end, to lift your arm back or to lift your leg up, you actually need less strength because the resistance to being stretched is lower. Another really cool thing static passive stretching does, if it's done consistently over time, is reducing your blood pressure, and it can be used really well as a mindfulness practice to decrease stress and increase relaxation. Before you jump into the routine, here are a few pointers on how you can try to use your breath to achieve a deep state of relaxation. Because the goal of this 30 days relaxed stretching routine isn't necessarily improving your flexibility, we are not really trying to push our range of motion during the positions. You get into the stretch, you go to the point where you can feel a sensation, but you're not going near a stretch that feels like an 8 out of 10 and definitely not a 10 out of 10. So maybe rather go to a 5 out of 10, so you're feeling some stretch, but you can actively keep your body relaxed and you don't feel like the stretch is stressful or that your body wants to get out of it because it's too strong. About the breathing, I mentioned that we use to keep it mindful and keep our bodies and minds relaxed while we are in the stretches. You can try to breathe into your back body more than you would normally do. So you can imagine that you're a little turtle. You have like a big turtle shell on your back. It goes from your neck to your sit bones, and each time you inhale, you want to make that turtle shell really big, and each time you exhale, it gets smaller again. And you're also pushing out into the side, opening the space between the ribs in your side body. If you're not used to controlling where your breath goes in your body, I can give you a little exercise to try and feel it better. For that one, you will go into a position like I am in now and try to bring your chest in contact with your thighs, hug your legs like that, and really pull your upper body close and rest your head like that. So because you're compressed in the front body, it automatically makes you because your front body is a bit compressed in that, it automatically makes you breathe into your back and into your side more. So you can try that, and I hope it's visible on the camera if I show you what it looks like. So I'm actively using my breathing muscles to pull in more air to force my back to grow bigger. And once you've practiced this, you can try to take it into other positions as well. So one stretch we have in the routine, for example, is this one, where you twist away, grab over here, and then go down. And here you can literally try to apply the same thing, mostly bringing the breath into your back and in the side. I hope it became clear to you on how to try to use your breath in this challenge. And if it wasn't clear the way I explained it, just ask your question in the comments below. Slava is also joining me in the challenge. He's doing his personal routine, but for the sake of this YouTube video, he joined me and demonstrated most of the poses so you can see them from different angles. We're going to start the workout by doing 5 lunges on each leg. Switch sides. Next, we're going to stretch our eyes 2 times left and right. Two times up and down. And now a big circle in each direction. Now perform one big circle with your neck in each direction. Then bring your hands in front of your chest and twist and tuck your knee up 5 times. Switch sides. Now cross one arm in front of your body. Throughout this routine, no matter if we're moving or holding a static stretch, try to breathe as calmly as you possibly can. Now go ahead and switch arms. The goal of this daily stretch routine is achieving relaxation. If your breath becomes faster or you feel like your body is urging you to leave the position, you went into the stretch too deeply. Release the second arm and open your legs wide with your feet turned out. We're going to do 5 slow and deep squats while circling our arms. Now stay down in the squat and put your hands on the ground. If you can't touch the ground yet, place your hands on an elevated object. Lift one arm off and rotate up, and then switch sides, rotate up on the other side. Repeat it once more on each side. If you want to, you can wiggle your feet into an even wider position and then move from side to side twice. So one leg is stretched out and the other is bent. Now slowly walk your feet together until they are touching and go down in a deep squat. Your heels can lift off the floor. Straighten and bend your legs here a couple of times while you keep your hands flat on the ground. The modification is still the same if you can't touch the floor yet. Put your hands on an elevation. Finish up your last rep. Now slowly get down to the floor into a position on all fours. turn your arms so your fingers are pointing to your knees. We're going to stretch our wrists for a little while. Now turn your hands so the tops of them are touching the ground. If this is difficult for you to do with straight arms, you can always bend your elbows and make sure that you take more weight onto your knees and less onto your wrists. Release the stretch and get into a plank position. Walk your hands back to your feet until they're in front of them. From there, you roll up vertebrae by vertebrae into a standing position. Then you roll back down and walk back out into a plank. If it's difficult for you to do this with straight legs, you can always bend your knees as is shown in the next rep. Keep on walking back and forth a few more times. Now you bring your knees onto the ground. We're going to do 5 slow and deep cats and cows. Finish up your last one and then lay onto your belly. For stretching out your chest, you can either have a bent elbow or a straight arm. Use your other arm to push yourself over until you feel a stretch. Change sides. Slowly come out of the stretch and grab yourself a pillow or a mat to put under your knee if you're not on a soft surface already. For the hip flexor stretch, get into a short lunge and then lean forward, placing your hands on the floor or on an elevated surface if you're a bit stiffer. Stay there and relax. Come out slowly and do the other side. If it's accessible to you, you can also go into your forearms during the stretch. Exit the stretch and get into a kneeling position. Walk your hands forward for a cat stretch. This will stretch out your back and your shoulders at the same time. First step would be putting the top of your head on the floor. Next could be putting your forehead or even your chin. For those of you that are really flexible, you can also go onto the tops of your fingers and try to bring your chest to the ground. Slowly walk your hands back to come out of the position and then stay on your knees. As a beginner, use your hands to support your hips as you arch back into a modified camel. If it doesn't feel good to let your neck drop back, keep on looking forward. Now hold the stretch. If camel feels good for you and you can relax in it, you can also put your hands onto your heels. And slowly come back up. If you already have a bridge, lay on your back to push up into it. But if bridge is too challenging for you, just go ahead and do one more round of the camel hold. And slowly release your position. Next, gently move into a child's pose. We're going to do a little counter stretch for our spine here and try to fully relax. Come out of child's pose and lay on your back. Cross one ankle over your other knee into a figure 4 position, and then you can either pull your legs towards your body to get a deeper stretch, or you can just relax your knee out to the side like Slava is showing. Switch sides. Come out of the stretch. For the next position, if you have a stiff hip and or stiff ankles, grab yourself a pillow and or a little towel to roll up, and then get seated in a half straddle. The pillow would go under your knee so you can relax down fully, The towel would go under your ankle so the ankle isn't being overstretched. Twist your chest towards the straight leg, and then with the arm that is further away, reach on the outside of the shin, or if you can, on the outside of the foot, and relax down into the stretch. Breathing really deeply into the side of your lower back that is elongated. Slowly come out and switch sides. Slowly come out of the second side. If you don't have a soft floor, now you definitely need 2 pillows. Get into a frog position and always keep in mind that you can keep your knees pretty close together if you already feel a stretch, just like Slava is showing. Push your hips all the way back and all the way forward, making sure to not arch your lower back. Always keep your tummy a little bit engaged in this one and move slowly, feeling the stretch in your groin. The next time you push back, stay there, and if you want, you can bring your forearms to the ground. Breathe deeply into the stretch, making sure you're relaxing and not becoming tense. Now move your hips into line with your knees, so it's a true middle split position. From there, again, try to relax and breathe. Maybe you can slowly open your knees a tiny bit wider. And the last position in this frog is pushing your hips forward, but keeping your tummy engaged so you're not arching your back. And you made it through your frog sequence. Slowly get out of the position. Lay on your back with your arms stretched out beside you, and then bring one knee up and pull it over your body so you're getting into a twist. Your head turns away from your bent knee. Now switch sides. and slowly exit the stretch, getting into a comfortable seated position. For the next position, reach one hand over your head and then gently pull your neck into a stretch. Now change sides. And release the stretch. Get into a long seat, crossing one leg over the other. If it's inaccessible for you to sit with straight legs, you can have your knees bent a little bit. Then reach forward to grab your shins, ankles, feet or toes and try to lengthen and relax your spine into the position. This clip is showing some good reality behind the scenes for you, as it was filmed on day 2 of doing my daily stretch challenge. It was filmed early in the morning and I look extremely restricted in my forward fold. Like I mentioned, I have accumulated a lot of tension in the muscles in my lower back and hips over the last 2 years where I neglected relaxed stretching, and this is my number one reason for doing the challenge. So by the end of the 30 days, I will hopefully feel very different in this pose and probably also have gained some range of motion. Now go ahead and switch sides. I'm super excited about every single one of you who's joining the challenge, and it's so wonderful that you're trying to figure out if this is something that helps you feel better. I can't wait to hear if you notice differences in how you feel and how you look in the stretches after the 30 days are up. And release the second side. Now it's time for our very last stretch. For anyone who cannot comfortably relax yet in a seated forward fold, we recommend getting 1 or 2 pillows. Put one pillow under your knees and the other between your thighs and torso so you can properly relax. Over time, you may feel that you don't need the pillow between your chest and legs anymore and can properly relax like that. The last step would be removing the pillow under your knees. Just keep on stretching regularly, and in a few months you may find that your forward fold becomes more flexible. Slowly and gently come out of your stretch. You're at the end of this routine. You made it. Good job. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.